The 80-20 Pareto principle is very important for Fiverr to help you understand where your opportunities are. The 80-20 or Pareto principle, if you haven't heard of it before, it's referenced widely in things dealing with economics and wealth and all parts of life. The basic premise is that there's disproportionate rules in life based on positive reinforcement. So things like 80% of the people in the world will have 20% of the wealth, while 20% of the people in the world will have 80% of the wealth. Now, actually, that's just a rough estimation. Often things like wealth get even more skewed, where something like 5% of the people in the world hold 95% of the wealth, and the other 95% hold 5%. These things happen because of positive reinforcement loops, because people repeatedly do the same things. So understanding that on Fiverr, let's put that in Fiverr context. On Fiverr, around 20%, rough estimate, around 20% of the buyers will make 80% of the gig purchases. Buyers like me that are in here ordering hundreds of times, that are consistently ordering each week. We are the buyers you want to focus on. 80% of the people buying on Fiverr will only buy 20% of the gigs. Again, it's a rough estimate. It's probably more like 90-10, or it could be 70-30. The more skewed it is, the more important it is, whether you're shopping or buying or selling, whether you're buying or selling, it's more important to aim at those power sections, those power users, whether you're on either side. So if you're the buyer, you often realize that you're likely to interact with other power sellers. You're likely to do business with other sellers who are working a lot on Fiverr. So the opportunity with that is to order from the people who aren't ordered from as often. Often you can find a really good value out of that. And at the same time, sometimes it's easier to order from people who are established, who are doing consistent good work on Fiverr. For a bunch of other people, you can depend on them doing a good job on your own work too. So as a buyer, I know to look outside of the people who are already receiving the most orders. On any website like Fiverr, there tends to be a small percent of buyers and a small percent of sellers who get all of the activity, while most everyone else does nothing. So if you want to use Fiverr successfully as a buyer or a seller, understanding that's very helpful to get started. Now, what does this mean for you? If you can start with this in mind, whether you're buying or selling, you can get way ahead and make things way easier for you. Life for me has been pretty easy on Fiverr as a buyer because I usually order from the same people over and over again. I would bet around half my orders are from the same people, the same small group of people. And you'll notice this principle right here. You can see over half of my orders are from one country, from the USA. So what country you're in definitely impacts your ability to be able to make sales, or will impact your buying decisions. All of this works out to one thing. If you aim to be a seller, you've got to aim for that power seller category right from the beginning. It doesn't mean you have to get there from the beginning. It means you want to aim for it because you're not likely to do much. Although I made $300 and I'm not a power seller. If you really want to make something out of Fiverr as a seller, understand that you will have to end up in that power seller category at some point. And that you can see from all the power buyers like me, there's a lot of opportunities there. So I hope this is useful for you in getting a look at Fiverr that will allow you to see where the opportunities are, whether you're a buyer or a seller.